Okay, welcome back. Good afternoon. So in the morning, so we were defining the Shintani map, then using a kernel function, this capital omega, using two types of forms, one with respect to the z variable or integral weight form, and then the other one with respect to tau in terms of the Poincare series, and then showed that, not showed that, we stated as a theorem that this omega function in terms of these two representatives, one from integral weight and one half integral, they are the same. So that is a theorem. After that, using that, this is the Shimura map, and then we define the Shimura-Shintani map using the kernel integral with respect to any function that we integrate this FZ with respect to set of inequal classes, and then over the image of this semicircle on the upper half plane, and then specific orientation. Then you get some functions Rkn. Using that, we define the Shintani map. So the fact is now is that this St and St plus St star are adjoint to each other with respect to the Peterson scalar product, and they map the space of half integral weight to integral and integral to half integral. And this exactly mapping is given in terms of the inner product of G with this omega function. As a function of tau, you get this inner product. The second one, inner product with respect to Z. So this is the inner product with respect to tau, which is a function of Z. It is inner product with respect to Z, it is a function of tau. So as a function of Z, it is integral weight. As a function of tau, it is a half integral weight form. Okay. So we assume this theorem, we'll come back to the theorem at the end. So assume this identity is valid. That means omega as defined in terms of this f function is given in terms of the Poincare series. Assume for the moment, we go to the proof of the other two theorems and come back to so one more theorem I will mention. So that is a Wolf-Rayet theorem. So before I go to the proof, so another theorem is that this is theorem 2. Theorem 1 is this one. Theorem 1. Theorem 2 and theorem 3 is let G be a uniform, G plus mu for n. So whenever I take n odd and square free, whenever I talk about uniform, it is square free, otherwise it is odd. Mn natural numbers such that minus 1 power km and minus 1 power kn or 0 or 1 mod 4. And suppose that minus 1 power kn is fundamental discriminant, then so this at the Shimura correspondence, remember that this so G is of tau is summation C of n equal to 2 pi I n tau n greater than or equal to 1 with the condition. Okay. Then Cn bar divided by the inner product of Gg is given in terms minus 1 power k by 2, 2 power k, inner product of f. F is the corresponding form of integral weight. So G2 f is 2k mu n. Okay, to the Rkn f minus 1 power kn minus 1 power kn. Okay, so when G is a new form and then f is the corresponding integral weight new form under the Shimura-Konnan map, then taking minus 1 power kn is the Shimura map, and then compare the minus 1 power m Fourier coefficient. We have Cn bar given by this one, where Rkn f d minus 1 power km is defined as above. Before we define this omega, we had this one. Okay, now assume this. I think I should have make the corollary before I go to this. Just as a corollary to this, We have the Pauli's theorem. Now take m equal to n in theorem 3 to get. So now you replace minus 1 power n kn as your fundamental discriminant. Okay. So I'm taking m equal to n. Therefore, Cn bar is mod C of mod d square by inner product of Gg, which is equal to minus 1 power k by 2, 2 power k inner product of ff into this rk n f d comma d. Okay, this is the integral. So when it is the discriminant is mod dm, so the discriminant is a square here. So when discriminant is a perfect square, this one can be evaluated, assuming that f is a new form. So assuming f is an eigenform with respect to Wp, this is the integral weight one for p dividing n, such that f bar Wp is the eigenvalue. I take it as d by p f. So now note that the d is relatively prime to the level. So d comma n is 1. Therefore, whenever p divides n, the d by p symbol is not equal to 0. So for all p dividing n, I assume that the Wp eigenvalue is d by p. Using this information, you can evaluate this one. One can find a set of representatives for the action of the quadratic form modulo gamma 0 n. Then evaluate the integral. Finally, it turns out that this rkn, the whole, I think the whole thing. So we should not rkn into this up to this constant f d comma d is nothing but, after simplification, it becomes 2 power nu n minus 1 power k by 2. No, actually this one only, sorry, this is correct. So this is equal to minus 1 power k by 2, 2 power nu n, 2 pi power minus k, gamma k, mod d power k minus half into the L function, L f by dk. Because sometimes I write d, so it's better to write the character. So this is d, chi d is the character corresponding to the fundamental discriminant d. So now substituting this one into this, finally this thus we have c of mod d mod square by inner product of Gg is, we have the 2 power nu n remaining. We have the factorial k minus 1 coming from gamma of k, and pi power k will remain, pi power minus k, and then we have other things will get cancelled. L f pi d k. So this is the explicit version of Pauli's theorem. That means the square of this coefficient is proportional to the special value of the L function, where the constant is exactly the involving this inner product by f. Inner product f. So this constants involve parameters depending on k, the coefficient parameter d is there, and then n also plays it out. The nu n is the number of distinct prime factors of it. N is the number of distinct prime factors of it. So this constant is explicitly computed using this kind of construction. Okay, that's okay. So now it remains to prove theorem 2, 3 using theorem 1. I'll come to theorem 1 at the end. Okay. Now come to the assuming theorem 1, we prove theorem 2 and 3. So assume theorem 1, assuming theorem 1, we prove theorem 2 and 3. Okay. Proof of theorem 2, so we have to show that if I take the inner product of G with omega k, I get the Shimura map. That is easy to see just by using the inner product of, because this omega function is given in terms of the Poincare series, and we have the characterization of the Poincare series which gives rise to Fourier coefficient. Where did I write? Yes, here. So now you make use of this. Actually, one has to write, I forgot to mention this Poincare series relation in the case of plus space Poincare series, and it's exactly the same. So once you use this one, substituting that, what here, if I do the take the inner product, I have the n square by d square mod d, the coefficient of G comes out along with this constant. And then if I simplify it, I get it. So we write it down. I'm just making use of only the characterization of the Poincare series. So let G belong to Sk plus R plus 4n, and using the characterization of the Poincare series and using theorem 1, we get the inner product of G with omega kn minus z bar d. So I am taking the inner product with respect to tau. So substituting constants here, in. I am just using from the theorem 1 to this omega I am writing in terms of the constants and the Poincare series. Minus 1 power k by 2, 3 into 2 pi power k by factorial k minus 1. These are all the constants there. And then we have the summation n equal to 1 to infinity n power k minus 1. Summation d dividing n, d comma n1, d by d, n by d power k. And then we have the Poincare series. So I have to put the inner product of G with Poincare series k plus half n square by d square mod d. This is plus, and then e power 2 pi I n is. So that's what I have done. So you go back to the omega theorem 1. Yes. So the d by d, n by d, all the factors come out. When I take the inner product of G with that, I just take the inner product, and then instead of this one, n square by d square mod d. Okay. So now use the characterization that gamma factor comes out, denominator 4 pi power, so this number comes out, and then the nth coefficient of n square by d square mod d, the coefficient of G will come out. So once you do that, this is after all the simplifications, it amounts to summation n greater than equal to 1, summation d dividing n, d comma n1, d by d, and then d power k minus 1, c of n square by d square mod d, d power 2 pi n. So after simplifications. This is exactly G bar SDN plus. Okay, so that is exactly the definition of SKDNK. Whatever the notation I gave, I have to put the K also, SKDN plus. So therefore, the first statement is very straightforward. For the second one, now you observe make the following thing. So for all, so once you do this, see, one can also use the same one definition for the Shintani map. When I use this first definition of the omega, I get functions of this type. Okay, fk n by t t z something like that. Okay, but when I define it, I define this rk n times t, and then I am putting them. There is a small difference there. We have to observe that these two sums are equal. So first he observes this before proceeding further. So for that he takes this kind of bijection. So for all t dividing n, the map q going to q applied t001, there is an action of SL2 to the GL2 plus q on the quadratic form. One can see that. So this gives a bijection between the set of quadratic forms ABC with a discriminant mod dm comma a is congruent to 0 modulo n by t, because that's what we have. This is when I consider this function fk. Where is that? Yeah, when I consider this one, the fk n by t means that the quadratic form, the a element ax square, that a is divisible by level. So n by t means a is 0 mod n by t. So that's what he is taking here. A 0 mod n by t. Discriminant there it is mod dm. That's what is the setup. So this gives a bijection between the set of quadratic forms with this discriminant and the property of a, and the set of quadratic forms ABC with the discriminant mod dm t square, and now the a ua is 0 modulo n times t. So there is a shift of the divisibility of this a and the discriminant, and then the discriminant changes multiplied by t square, and then this also multiplied by t square. So this particular transformation for every t dividing n gives a bijection between these two sets of quadratic forms. This also, there is a genus character for each quadratic form coming there. So when I do this transformation, I have to consider this omega d of q applied to this t001. This is nothing but d by t square omega d of q. Therefore, the definition doesn't make any change there, making this kind of change of variable. This character value is 1. Okay. Note that d is relatively prime to n and t is dividing n. Therefore, this symbol makes sense, non-zero. This implies, this observation gives you that when I take the sum over all divisors of n, mu of t d by t, t power k minus 1, fk n by t, t is a d minus 1 4 km. So summing this kind of thing over all divisors of n is the same as it takes the sum over all divisors of n, mu of t d by t, t power k minus 1, fk n t is a d minus 1 4 km t square. Okay, so that's what this one says. Okay, so because of the bijection, I consider this the a divisible by n by t, and then the discriminant is mod dm is transformed to divisibility by nt, and the discriminant is pt square. Therefore, this equality is true because of the correspondence. Okay, therefore I can just change this particular sum into this sum and then take the inner product now. So that's what we do in the definition of omega. This implies integral f comma omega kn sometimes this is creating. Okay. To keep this minus tau bar d. So that is the inner product in this statement of theorem 2. Right? Yeah. Yes. This one I have to take. That should be giving the Shintani map. Okay. This is exactly, if I use the definition of omega in the first one, in ckd inverse summation m minus 1 4 k m 0 or 1 mod 4 m power k minus half summation t dividing n mu of t d by t t power k minus 1 inner product of f comma f. So now I make this one with the original this sum, this whole sum is, I can just, this one is replaced by that, therefore I have put fk nt is a d minus 1 4 km t square, okay, into e power 2 pi I m tau. Therefore, what we have to show that, so when you look at the definition of the Shintani map, again coming back to that, all other factors are there. There is my star. Theorem 1. They mentioned this before. Define. Here we go. Yeah, star. So all the factors are there, mu t d by t. This is r k n t f and t square. So if I take the inner product of f with the f k n t is that d minus 1 4 k m t square, I should be getting this r k. That's what I have to show. Okay, so therefore, it remains to show that inner product of f comma f k n d minus 1 4 k m is given by I n inverse by 2k minus 2k minus 1 binomial 2 power minus 2k plus 2 mod dm power minus k plus half into this rkn f d minus 1 4k. Okay, that's what it finally it have to prove this one. This is again the proof is done. One can check the paper. It is too technical, so I don't want to show the proof. Refer to the paper. It's too technical. Okay. Not difficult, but it is. Therefore, that is once I prove this one, I can plug in there, and therefore I get the theorem. So once I prove the theorem 1 saying that these two identities are same, then I get my Shintani map using the inner product of f with this function. So this particular theorem 2 gives you the fact that the Shimura and Shintani map are adjoint to each other because they are given in terms of the inner product. Okay, so therefore theorem 2 is done. We come to the theorem 3. So now take G sk plus half plus mu 4n. F is the corresponding new form. Okay, and then I might take d equal to minus 1 power k small n. That is my. So now I know that G bar sd plus is Shimura map is giving the first Fourier coefficient because f is a normalized form. The mapping gives you the first coefficient as the dth coefficient of G. Therefore, this is C of mod d into n. Okay, so mod d here is n. So you can write this is equal to C of n. Yeah, both are same. So therefore, we know the multiplicity 1 for both. So I start with the G in new form, apply the Shimura map. I know that f is the corresponding new form. Therefore, I get this identity. Similarly, if I take this f in the new form space level n, if I apply the Shintani map, because the Shintani Shimura they compute with the help of Hecke operators, the resulting form is eigenform in the plus mu space. Because of the multiplicity 1 result, it should be a constant time G. So using multiplicity 1 result, we have, if I take f comma sd plus star must be some constant time G where lambda belongs to complex. So we can find what is lambda in the moment. So now we'll compare the nth Fourier coefficient on both the sides. So let C of f m n be the nth Fourier coefficient of the map f bar sd plus star. Okay, so I so take this one as the mth Fourier coefficient actually, because given n, I am considering this d is involving n. Therefore, I am taking the mth Fourier coefficient of this drifting. Therefore, I consider C of f mn. I multiply for adjustment. I put this multiply this gg in this one. This is nothing but lambda The mth coefficient here is C of m into G. Okay, so if I inner product is extra added now, I'm comparing the mth Fourier equation on both the sides. I have C of mn is lambda times Cm, and now what I do, lambda times G is f bar st star. So C of m lambda G I put it inside. This is f bar sd plus star G, and which is equal to C of m. This C are different. This is the coefficient of G. Okay, is SD star is adjoint to the Shimura map. Therefore, this is f comma G bar SD plus. Okay, since f bar G bar SD plus is C of mod D. Therefore, C of m. This is C of n actually. C of n bar inner product f comma f. Okay, so this implies I get the what I get it Cm Cn bar by Gg. What I have to show? This is by Gg is this one, right? I have to show this. What I have, so Cn bar by G comma G is C of Mn by Ff. Okay. Now this is one part, so just I use F is a new form. And therefore, when you do that, F is a new form. When I do this kind of inner product with these functions, for all this, I go back to this definition, then only you will see that when you take this omega, yeah. So when I take this inner product with this one, what I take, I have to take the inner product of F with all these functions, okay? So unless t equal to 1, all of them are level strictly less than n, therefore they all belong to the old class. All these functions will belong to the old class. Therefore, when I take the inner product with a new form, all these things will become 0. So when I take the inner product with this function, if f is a new form, only when t equal to 1 survives in this particular calculation. That's what the main part. Okay, therefore, when I come to compute the mth coefficient in this one, it is exactly this constants. The t summation will not be there. I have to put t equal to 1 and get it. So rewrite it. This implies. Now I have, for that I need to use the fact that the f is a new form. Therefore, f comma fk n by t function is inner product is 0 for all t not equal to 1. Implies inner product f comma fk n by t is 0 for all t not equal to 1. So therefore, when t equal to 1 only this inner product survives. This implies C f m n is nothing but in ckd inverse m power k minus half. I am comparing the mth coefficient. Therefore, this is fkn minus 1 4 kn minus 1 4 km. Okay, that inner product. This is exactly after simplification. It becomes when I substitute for ckd, the inner product I think I take in terms of the r function. Finally, it becomes minus 1 power k by 2 power k r k n f minus 1 4 k n minus 1 4 k n. That's what we want to show. So this the CFMN is exactly this one. This implies Cn bar by the product of Gg is minus 1 power k by 2 power k rk n of f minus 1 4 k n minus 1 4 k n. Okay. So this is true for any new form in the half integral weight case, and the corresponding function f is the integral weight new form under the Shimura map. So then we have the relation of this Cm into Cn bar is given by this one. Once I take m and n equal diagonal elements, then I get a square here for the discriminant. Here the discriminant of the quadratic form is nm. If If they are equal means it is a square, I can evaluate, and that's why I get the L function. That's what we saw in the corollary. So corollary is, which I already saw that Althusser's result. So, okay, now everything is done. Now we come back to the proof of theorem 1. I have another 45 minutes. Okay, so proof of theorem 1 is again a tedious one. So slowly we'll have to explain. So the idea is to use the Fourier expansion on both the sides and then expand it. And then somehow you have to prove that these two Fourier expansions are same. So another tedious computation comes out. So the function omega kn z tau d is defined in two different ways. To see, the theorem is that they are equal. That's the theorem. To see they are equal, they are the same or they are the same, not equal, they are the same. One should compare its Fourier coefficient. Because I defined it in two different ways. You compute the Fourier coefficient in one way, compute the coefficient in another way. You just compare the Fourier coefficient as a way with respect to z and tau together. Okay, so for that we need to compute the Fourier expansion of the kernel function fkn function. Similarly, we have to find the Fourier expansion of the Poincare series. Again, they are standard ones, which we'll give now. Fourier expansion of fkn z d minus 1 4 km, which is equal to, you write it as ckn small n d minus 1 4 km e power 2 pi a n z, where n greater than or equal to 1. Then the ckn is given by is a long expression, so it is taken two parts. It is 2 into minus 2 pi over k by factorial k minus 1 n square by mod dm power k minus 1 by 2 into the long expression. I'll just put it in next line. Minus 1 over integral part of k plus 1 by 2 is symbol d by n by square root of m mod d times the delta function, which is 1 if it is inside quantity is 1, otherwise 0. If it is inside 1 is an integer, we are 1. Okay, Kronecker delta 1 by mod d into mod d power minus half plus pi root 2 n square by mod dm power 1 by 4 into summation a greater than or equal to 1 n divides a because of the level, so a inverse. Some finite exponential sum comes here, SAD minus 1 over km of mod dm n, and then a Bessel function of order k minus half. So, to get it, I think the main idea is to use the Lipschitz formula for periodic functions. Okay, where here I have to define what is where delta is the Kronecker delta. If x belongs to integer, 0, x is not an integer. Okay, the either 1 or 0. And then this S function is SAD minus 1 over km and mod dm n is nothing but you take the finite exponential sum d modulo 2a, d square is congruent to mod dm mod 4a, the genus character omega d of a b, b square minus mod dm by 4a e power 2 pi I nb by 2a. So this simplify as e2a nb. So whenever we say e power x c, this is e power 2 pi I x by c. Okay, to simplify the notation, instead of writing e power 2 pi I nb by t, e2a nb. So these two, when I write the other Krusrevan type sum, then I'll write this notation only. So whatever suffix means, the power, it will become exponential power. Its denominator is this number. This is the multiplication of 2 pi I. Okay, it is a finite exponential sum. And jk minus half t is given by t by 2 power k minus half summation r greater than or equal to 0 minus 1 power r t by 2 power 2 r by factorial r gamma of k plus half plus r. This is the Bessel function of order k minus 1 by 2. Okay, so the method is just use, because we know it is a periodic function, just once you expand it, I need to use the Lipschitz formula. So E is the Lipschitz formula. Which is given by tau plus n power minus s, n integers is given in terms of e power minus pi a s by 2 to pi power s by gamma of s summation n power s minus 1 e power 2 pi I n tau, where tau in the upper half plane, s is a complex number, real part of s is greater than 1. Okay, so use this formula, and then when you expand it out, finally you will come up with this kind of expansion. Okay, now next is that the Poisson summation formula gives the Fourier expansion of the Poincare series. So this is the Fourier expansion of the function, the kernel function f, presented it. So we have to use it on one side, the particular one. Then next is the Poincare series expansion. So the key here is the Poisson summation formula. So what he does, so we find the Fourier expansion in the full space. Okay, let p k plus half n m tau be the mth Poincare series in sk plus half 4n. Then pk plus half n m plus is nothing but pk plus half n m bar projection. So there is a projection operator which takes the forms in level 4n to the plus space. So the projection operator is given by, so f bar pr is given by minus 1 power k plus 1 by 2 1 by 3 root 2 into summation v modulo 4 f bar psi av star plus 1 by 3 f. Okay, this is nothing but the q operator which we used in the beginning to characterize the plus space. This is exactly f bar q psi bar av star. So the projection is given by this. Then he finds, using Poisson summation formula, one can find the expansion for this script point, the script p Poincare series, which is in the full space, and then after that you use the projection operator and find the Fourier expansion of the Poincare series in the plus space. So that is the proposition. Again, this involves a lot of computation. So m greater than or equal to 1 minus 1 power k m is 0 or 1 mod 4. Because in this case, the plus space, the Poincare series, we need, they are indexed by coefficients which are the square modulo 4. Because when I take the inner product with the f, it gives the mth Fourier coefficient. Therefore, for plus space, only this type of Fourier coefficient survive. Therefore, when you consider f in the plus space and take the inner product, If this is not of the form, the inner product becomes 0. Therefore, naturally, the plus space eigenvalues is the Poincare series, the indexed by only m with this property. So that is another property. So then we have pk plus half n m plus of tau is summation n greater than or equal to 1 minus 1 4 k n is 0 or 1 mod 4 g k n m of n e power 2 pi I n tau, where this g k n m n is given by, this also has the two terms. See, since we are looking at the omega function, so when you talk the omega function, there is a one summation over t dividing n, and another one also summation over d dividing n. This type of in between finite divisor sums are there, but inside there are functions and Fourier coefficients for f. Just now we saw it has a two big components, one coming from Kronecker delta, other one is finite exponential sum. Surprisingly, for Poincare series also, it has again two terms. One is again sum of this Kronecker delta when delta m comma n, when unless they are equal, it's 0 kind of thing. The second one involves a Kloosterman type sum along with the Bessel function of order k minus half. Okay, so therefore the matching is can be easily compared. Okay, modulo all these things. So we just write down this delta m comma n. This term is 1 when m equal to n, otherwise 0. So similar to the Kronecker delta in the previous case, minus 1 power k plus 1 by 2 pi root 2 n by m power k by 2 minus 1 by 4 summation c greater than or equal to 1 n divides c h c m comma n, sorry, n comma m. Order is important here, k minus half pi by c square root of m. So we also have Fourier expression of the Poincare series having two components. The second component involves some kind of exponential sum together with the Bessel function. Okay, like this. So, okay, where delta mn is 1 0 if m equal to n, otherwise so hc nm is some constant minus ki into 1 plus, it is either 2 or 1 according as c is odd or even, 1 by 4c summation 4c by delta minus 4 by delta power k plus half, where delta modulo 4c star. So all the non-zero residues modulo 4c, where E4c n delta plus m delta inverse. So this is the, I told you that e power 2 pi I into this number by 4c. Here delta inverse is an integer, that delta inverse is 1 modulo 4c. Not the rational number, but it is an integer which is such that delta inverse in delta is 1 modulo 4c. So is finite exponential sum. It is like Kloosterman type sum. Okay, and again J is the Bessel function. This is again a Bessel function of order k minus r. So now we have these two Fourier expansions. You substitute this two in the corresponding omega functions on both the sides, and then compare the Fourier coefficients with respect to z and tau. So substituting these Fourier expansions on both the sides of omega definitions, omega two definitions, right? One definition, one is the theorem statement. So omega is given in two different ways. You substitute in both the sides and then compare the Fourier coefficient of coefficients with respect to Z and tau. Both sides. What we get is, I'll write down there. So for all n greater than or equal to 1, with minus 1 power km congruent to 0 or 1 mod 4, m also greater than or equal to 1. So we need to show that. So if I write, it is again long expression, 2 into minus 2 pi power k by factorial k minus 1 summation t dividing n. This I am using the f function mu of t d by t power k minus 1 n square by t square mod dm whole power k minus 1 by 2 mod d power minus half into the Fourier expansion is minus 1 power k plus 1 by 2 d by n by t into square root of m mod d delta n by t square root of m by mod d. It is m by mod d mod d power minus half. I did a mistake. Here it should be m power. Should not be this. Here it should be m power k minus half, because I just skipped one line there. So plus pi root 2 n square by t square mod dm power 1 by 4 summation a greater than or equal to 1. So that n by t dividing a is divided as a. I just replace a by n by t a and write it. So yes, n a by t d minus 1 power k m mod d m n by t into the Bessel function is jk minus half pi n by t square root of mod dm by na by t. So that is on the left hand side. Okay, so once I substitute the Fourier expansion of this f function, I get this coefficient for the e power 2 pi I e power 2 pi I n z and 2 pi I m tau. Okay, on the right hand side, when you do this, it should be equal to minus 1 power k by 2 3 into 2 pi power k by factorial k minus 1 n power k minus 1 summation d dividing n d comma n is 1 d by d n by d power k into the 2 by 3 factor is outside for all, so just 2 by 3 into we have the delta n square by d square mod d m plus minus 1 power k plus 1 by 2 pi root 2 m d square by x square mod d whole power k by 2 minus 1 by 4 into summation a c greater than or equal to 1 h n c m n square by d square mod d into the Bessel function. So j k minus half pi by n c square root of n square by d square mod d. Okay, so now comparing this, so what we do that I have to show that these two expressions are same. So I just divide these expressions into two parts. One up to this. Okay. Second one is this exponential sum or finite exponential sum. Okay. So first you compare the first two parts to show that they are equal. Similarly, you take the second part and they are equal, and therefore the expansions should be same. So one can simply say that one can verify easily that the first parts are same. So that it is easy to see the first parts on both the sides are equal. The equality of the first part is easy to see. So for the second term, so now we compare the second part. So starting with this, the summation of this one along with this Bessel function. So one can make a uniform choice so that both the sides I get the same Bessel function. Therefore, I can get rid of the Bessel function and then compare the remaining terms. Okay. So this particular part should be equal. Make a choice such that these two coincide. So once they are coinciding, I have to show that this type of sum should be equal to this type of sum. Okay. So for the second terms, substitute CD equal to A on the RHS, and it becomes pi root 2 minus 1 power k n by mod d whole power k by 2 minus 1 by 4 n power half summation into a greater than or equal to 1 summation d dividing a comma m d relatively prime to 1 n d by d power minus half h na by d of m n square by d square mod d into j k minus half pi n by na square root of mod dm. Okay, that is on the right hand side. So now therefore to complete the proof, therefore now pi n, so I have to see whether the left hand side, right hand side, so pi n na, so this a multiple of t I can get rid of, I make a change of thing, so I have n multiple here root of mod dm. So therefore this Bessel functions I think match up to some, see pi into n by t mod dm, so square root of mod dm is exactly same. Therefore by small adjustment on the left hand side I can make that is equal to this. Therefore to complete the proof, we need to show that summation t dividing n u of t d by t s na by t b minus 1 power k m of mod dm n by t is nothing but summation d dividing a comma n d comma n is 1 d by d n a by d power half h n a by d of m n square by d square mod. So this identity has to be proved finally. So that's what everything boils down to. After I think careful verification, show that the first terms are equal. After that, make a change of variable on the right hand side so that the Bessel functions on both the sides coincide. Therefore, we need to prove some identity except for the Bessel function, this type of identity. If I show that, I can just go back and then say that these two are equal. Therefore, going backwards, I can prove the proof. So now this, instead of proving this one, is equivalent to showing that this it is equivalent to, or this follows from the following proposition. That's the correct way of writing this. The above identity follows from the following proposition. Very interesting proposition. The calculation is very easy to do that, but it is very tedious one. So for all a greater than or equal to 1, n greater than or equal to 1, m greater than or equal to 1, with minus 1 power k m is 0 or 1 mod 4, we have, so actually we have to take some Mobius inversion and then try to get this one. So I can just use that SAD minus 1 power k m mod dm n is d dividing a comma n d by d a by d power half h a by d of m n square by d square mod d. Okay, how this is proved? Now observe that both sides are periodic functions with period 2a, and therefore taking the Fourier transform and then take the Fourier transform that coefficients calculate them individually, and then one can show that they are equal, therefore these are equal. So proof using the fact that both sides are periodic with period 2a, and by taking Fourier transforms, it is shown that they are equal. Okay, again this is a long calculation, mostly involving the quadratic Gauss sum. So this computation involves many quadratic Gauss sums. So one can easily do those things. So by observing that, we prove finally this is proved. This is the main proposition to prove that one. So once we prove this one, and along with the Fourier expansions, the theorem 1 we get it. Theorem 1 is that we write, that is the kernel function for the both the liftings I get, so that I can get the Shintani lifting also using this kernel function. Okay. What is the time now? Any questions, please ask. 3:20. So another 20 minutes. Yes, any question up to this? In the remaining time, I'll tell you what are some extensions done in this direction. And tomorrow we will see other recent results, whatever possible. I'll try to compile and then present it tomorrow. So this really involving, all the calculations are involving. So Karamdev has done it once in his thesis, so he will be knowing that. Very interesting calculation, but it is very long process. Okay, so quickly, if any questions are there, you can ask. Then I'll move to the next part. So shall I continue? Okay. So now the extension. So now I mention the one which works the full space. I'll just mention the old result of ours, and then the other results we will talk about tomorrow. So this is with Monica Vasudevan. So this particular paper, whatever this computation of the Shimura-Shintani maps, extended, this appeared in Proceedings of Indian Academy of Science. Appeared in 1989. Most of them people are not aware of this one. So the title is this on Shintani correspondence. Okay. So how this exactly following the same methods, I'll just see only the main results I'll state and then I'll stop. Okay, n is odd. And then consider the space sk plus r 4n. So in our around the same time we did this appeared before, and JNT paper appeared later. Actually, this was written before that. So it took time for the publication. So the new form theory was done in the JNT paper using the new form theory, and then following Conant's method, closely following that, we extended this Shintani correspondence for the full space, okay, not for necessarily for the plus space. So you construct construction of omega kn z tau d, the same fashion as done by Conant. That means you construct the function in the integral weight as analogous one in the full space, the level 2n, not in the full space, level 2n. Similarly, for the Poincare series is already there, the half integral yes, you use the Poincare series, you make the definition, and then you prove the corresponding theorem 1 in this case. So if you follow this exactly same lines, we also end up proving similar proposition for our results. Okay, similar one we need to prove. A little bit change of the functions will come up, so some constants. Up to that one, effectively this same method will work. Then, so this is a theorem, main theorem I'll write. Okay. Okay. So n are natural numbers, n square free. Here we need not have the fundamental discriminant, square free is enough because we are looking at only the Shimura map. F belongs to Sk plus of mu 4n be a Hecke eigenform. So there is a difference between saying a Hecke eigenform and then saying that the function belongs to the uniform space. Okay, the uniform space, any function belonging to this one doesn't mean that it's a Hecke eigenform. Therefore, you have to specify it belongs to the space as well as it is a Hecke eigenform. That meaning is that it should be one of the basis elements. That's the meaning. And let capital F be S2K nu 2n be the corresponding uniform under the Shimura correspondence. Okay. Now again, by like before, suppose assume that this capital F bar W2 is minus 1 power k n by 2 capital F. If minus 1 power k n is 1 modulo 4. I think we also need the other W operators also. So also, and F bar WP is P by P, D is minus 1 power k n. So D is minus 1 power k n F, where P dividing n. Okay. There the AFN bar by FF. There is a change of notation here. F in the case of column 1 is integral weight. In our case, half integral. He uses GF. We use F and capital F. That is the difference. Okay. Therefore, looking at these two theorems, one should not get the confusion that this function notation is different in the results. So 2 power minus 1 minus 1 power k n by 2. So this symbol is valid only when the numerator is 1 modulo 4 RKN F 4mn if minus 1 4 kn is 1 mod 4. Otherwise, this constant is minus 1 4 k by 2 by inner product FF 2 power minus k minus 1 RKN F 16 mn if minus 1 power kn is 2 or 3 mod. Okay, so this is a small difference in this result. Now one can then one can define this RKN analogously the same way. So taking m equal to n, we have mod AF of n square. So minus 1 power kn formula to 1 mod 4. What we get square free by inner product FF is 2 power mu of m minus 1 k minus 1 factorial by pi power k. Actually, this is 4n, right? No, n is odd. So I should have written here. You can put this as n only. Pi power k, n power k minus half l capital F pi d k by inner product F. Okay, so um is the number of distinct prime factors of n. So this is the explicit Walsh-Bridges result. So Walsh-Bridges result for new forms in Sk plus of 4n n odd square free. Okay, we have seen the similar version for the coordinates plus space. Okay, so this is our extension result, and then for the new form as well as whatever he has done for the plus space, we have extended for the full space. So this is getting back to 1990. So I have not come to the recent results. Let me see how much time I have. Okay, another 15 minutes. I'll just tell you something about how things developed afterwards, little bit, and then I'll stop. Okay. So the modular forms of half integral weight, because one particular one is really one has to talk about the Jacobi form. The half integral forms to, are closely related to Jacobi forms. I'm not going into the details, any modular forms of half integral weight. Or something called Jacobi forms. In some sense, one can just they are one and the same in some sense. Okay. So what are Jacobi forms? We will just see, because why I brought this idea is that well, there is a Shimura correspondence between half integral weight and integral weight. So therefore, when you consider the any Shimura type correspondence in other type of spaces, automorphic forms, it will be a surprising thing. It is not surprising because it's natural, because the half integral weight are closely related to Jacobi form. There is a correspondence between half integral weight and Jacobi form. In some sense, they are the same. Therefore, one expects a similar correspondence from Jacobi forms to integral weight modular forms. So that's what you will see now. So roughly speaking, I'm not very explicit. Jacobi forms are holomorphic functions of two variables on H cross C, satisfying two types of transformations. Okay, so Jacobi forms are two variable functions and modular forms of single variable. This for degree one modular forms of single variable function, but somehow the half integral weight and they are almost one and the same in some sense. Okay, so we denote this by phi of tau comma z. Tau in the upper half plane, z is the complex number. Okay, so one is this with respect to SL2Z action, phi of a tau plus b by c tau plus d, z by c tau plus d. This is the action of, there is a Jacobi group. One has to study a corresponding group, Jacobi group, that SL2Z, and then along with some lattice I have to do. So therefore, this is the action of SL2Z on H cross C. Functions depend on that, which is given by e power 2 pi I mc z square by c tau plus d into c tau plus d power k phi of tau z. Should be true for all A, B, C, D in SL2Z. So there is a parameter k appearing here, and there is one extra parameter m appearing there. Therefore, Jacobi forms having two parameters. One is called the weight, and another is called the index. Okay, that is coming from the transformation. The second transformation is about all the lattice Z2. So second one is phi of tau z plus lambda tau plus mu is e power minus 2 pi I m into lambda square tau plus 2 lambda z into phi of tau z. This should be true for all lambda mu in integers, lambda mu are integers. Okay. So here also this index plays a role. Therefore, if a holomorphic function you take, and with respect to SL2's matrices, it has a transformation like this. It is not an artificial one. We will see that is very naturally it comes. The second one is with respect to the lattice. It has this particular transformation, and assume that the third is that it has a Fourier expansion C of NR e power 2 pi I m tau plus r z, where n are integers, r square less than or equal to 4n. Okay, so this type of Fourier expansion, so any function satisfying this is called the Jacobi form of weight k, index m with respect to SL to Z. Okay, these are Jacobi forms, and then they arise naturally from Siegel-Modeler form, that one should know. They arise naturally from Siegel-Modeler forms of degree 2. So because I am talking about the degree 1, what can these all the things I am explaining, they have the higher degree analog. So we are looking at only the degree 1 aspect. Therefore, I have Siegel-Modeler forms of degree 2. So if I take the Fourier expression of a Siegel-Modeler form of degree 2, we have it as 3 variable function. So f of I have tau z, tau prime. So this belongs to h, this belongs to h, this belongs to c. So if it is n or m integers, r square less than or equal to 4nm, e power 2 pi I, n tau plus rz plus m tau dash. Okay, so you rewrite this expansion in terms of tau prime, you keep the other things inside. The inside quantity becomes the Jacobi forms. If I rewrite this Fourier expansion, 0 summation n r square less than or equal to 4nm, a of n r m, e power 2 pi I, m tau plus rz. We keep that inside, and then e power 2 pi I. So if I consider this the expansion with respect to the tau prime variable, the coefficients are nothing but a 2 variable function. They are all called Jacobi forms. So the weight will be the f is of weight k. So this weight is k and then index is m. So this comes naturally. So this is the space is called JKM. Jacobi forms of weight k, index m. This is a vector space of Jacobi forms of weight k, index m. Okay. So Skorupa and Zagier considered a correspondence similar to the Shimura correspondence between these Jacobi forms and modular forms of integral weights. So Skorupa, Zagier, I think it is 1988, this is the invention in paper, they obtained correspondence between JKM and modular forms of weight 2k minus 2 level m. Okay, so and then again they did the trace calculation was done for this. There is a Heike operators in these spaces. Already we have the Heike theory in this. One can introduce Heike operators in this space, and then by computing the traces of Heike operators on the Jacobi form space and comparing the trace formula for the integral weight Heike operators, they showed that there is an isomorphism between the space of Jacobi forms and certain subspace of modular forms of integral weights. What they proved, so JKM is isomorphic to space script 2k minus 2 minus m space. So this is the set of all f belonging to m2k minus 2m such that f bar wm is, I think it is minus f. It is either minus or plus. I am not sure about that. One of the eigenvalues. Okay. So take one of the eigenvalues of the W operator. Here it is the Fricke involution because level is completely m. So take the Fricke involution. It has two eigenvalues plus minus. One of the eigenspaces it is mapped isomorphically onto that. So the construction is exactly the same. Shimura map is exactly the same. And later I think one can also construct a Shintani map for this one that was done by Conan, Gross-Conan Zagier paper. They constructed a kernel function for these two liftings, reverse lifting, and then the construction is exactly the same. So these are the extensions. Immediately after that, that came in 1989, I think. This is Graskon and Zeiger is 89. So this paper is about Heegner points, in connection with the Heegner points. So they also studied this kind of correspondence, the Shintani correspondence, where also this kind of kernel function appears there. So I think I'll stop now. If you have any questions, you ask me now. In the next class, we will talk about the special property. Tomorrow, I'll give more generalized more kind of results in this direction. What are the results? Whatever I know, I'll compile. I'll try to compile and then present it tomorrow.